What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about a hero that does not get a lot of love in the limelight, so hopefully you guys do enjoy the video. And if you guys are Brewmaster fans, definitely leave a comment down below if you guys would like to see more videos on Brewmaster. Recently I just wanted to play a very fun hero and I didn't really know what to pick, so I said, what the hell, let's play some Brewmaster. I haven't seen a Brewmaster in such a long time. I honestly had forgotten that the hero even existed. Now typically I'm not an offlane player, but I have been playing a lot more offlane recently just to have more fun, as I'm getting a little bit bored of the carry position and the mid lane as well. So I said, what the heck, let's go play some Brewmaster. And I did get absolutely destroyed, and I forgot how hard this hero is to play. And when you spend months without playing a hero like Brewmaster, you kind of forget a lot of the things he can do and some of his worst matchups. And that's honestly what happened to me. I picked it into a really bad Brewmaster game and I thought it would be really good to play this hero. So I started dabbling into Brewmaster once again and started to practice him a lot more and kind of get back to where I used to be. While I never was a Brewmaster spammer, I definitely was pretty good at the hero. But one of the things I did want to explain to you guys is your facet. So basically you have two options. You have your roll out the barrel, which throws out a barrel and damages and applies to Cinder Brew. This one I think is not that great. I think your Drunken Master facet is much better, which means when you're brewed up, you move faster, altering between 15% slower or 50% faster. That's always going to be really nice because you're going to be brewed up if you guys are going for the Radiance build or for the Vessel build. It honestly depends. I think the best way to play Brewmaster right now is with Radiance. You might be surprised. I think playing Brewmaster right now in this meta to be a lot more effective, I think you have to play Brewmaster right click. Now, a lot of you Brewmaster spammers might be going crazy about this. Hear this out. For most players, getting full value on your ultimate is not going to happen. Most new players that are trying to play Brewmaster are not going to do absolutely anything other than maybe the stun on your Earth Panda. So you need to keep this in mind. So if you're thinking about most players, right click build is going to be much better for the average player. Now, once you're a good Brewmaster player and you can get full value from his ultimate and you know exactly what you're going to be doing, then yes, obviously you can pick other types of builds. But I think right click is very underrated. As a universal hero, you benefit a lot from items like Echo Saber, Scotty. These really big beefy items, you're going to do so much right click damage and it's very hard to stop the Brewmaster. You could actually play a secondary carry from the offlane, because even though this is really good, I still think you need another type of carry to back you up in case your build doesn't go good. That way you can just focus on the backline. You can also buy a Blink Dagger and try and get rid of some supports that way. So your typical build on Brewmaster right now, I recommend for it to be Bracer, Wand into Urn, and then Vessel. Then you get yourself a Radiance, and then Treads or Phase Boots. It's definitely up to you. I like Treads because I can right click a lot faster, and that extra attack speed is always going to be really good. But if I see that I need to be a little bit faster, then I'll definitely use my Phase Boots. And since I took the Drunken Master facet, I'm going to be even faster, so it's going to be very easy for me to move around the map and try and pick off some heroes that might be a little bit faster than me. And then it really depends on what you're trying to go. You can go for an Orchid to get pickoffs, you can get a Manta Style, you can get a Refresher, you can get your Shard. I think the Aghanim Scepter is actually pretty decent. I think it's better if you get it from Roche if you can. I don't think it's worth buying, but I do think it's really good when you're fully slotted to actually pick it up or get it for free from Roche. The fact that you can use any of the pandas and just spawn it is really cool. I don't think it's worth the Aghanim Scepter. I think it should be more of a Shard. I don't think it should be an Aghanim Scepter. You guys let me know in the comments what you guys think about the Aghanim Scepter. And overall, just going for a right click build, going to town, you can go toe to toe against some of the best carries in the game if you're able to farm, which is the key. Brewmaster is a very farm intensive offlaner. He's not the type of hero that wants to constantly be involved in fights. If you have your ultimate ready to go, then definitely you do want to fight because you have get out of jail free card, because you're basically invulnerable unless your Earth Panda dies and all your other panda dies, and then you're pretty much dead. But that typically doesn't happen a whole lot if you play quite safe. You could also pull the Earth Panda back and go fight with the other ones if there's a lot of burst. If heroes like Gyrocopter are around, they can easily kill all your pandas. It does way too much damage, so typically against heroes like that, I like to pull back the Earth Panda. That way I'm always going to be in a safe spot when my ultimate is over. And now let's break down your Drunken Brawler stances. So this is what makes this hero insanely strong if you know how to use them properly. So your Earth stance is going to give you armor and magic resistance. Your Storm stance is going to give you evasion and extra movement speed. The Fire one is going to give you crit and attack speed, and the Void is going to give you status resistance and slow. This is really important to keep in mind. If you're facing up against a lot of physical damage and magical damage mixed up, then you want to stay on the Earth stance. If you guys need that little extra evasion and movement speed, then you go for the Storm. And you need that crit and attack speed, which is what I typically go for in the mid to late game, which is where I'm doing the most amount of right click damage. Then this is what I have most of the time, unless I'm taking very heavy physical or magical damage that I need to get rid of, because it is quite significant. That extra armor and magic resistance is really good to have. And then your Void Void, which is the one that I use the least, gives you status resistance and slow. So this one is the one I use the least unless I'm facing up against heroes like Legion Commander and stuff like that where I want the extra status resistance or they have a lot of stuns, stuff like that. But typically it's not the stance that I like to run with the most. It's actually the one that I use the least, but the other ones are really good. The fact that you have so much things at your disposal makes this hero insanely strong in the right hands. The thing is, being proficient on Brewmaster requires a shit ton of games, and getting value in his ultimate can be very difficult because you're jaunting through a lot of abilities at the same time. Your pandas all move at different speeds, so there's a lot of things you need to keep in mind, plus the chaos of fights in general. If you're a new Brewmaster player, my recommendation is don't go too crazy with your ultimate. Start learning it as slowly as you can, and don't be discouraged to play Brewmaster just because the ultimate is very difficult. It's difficult for most players to even understand, and even if you're a really good player, it doesn't mean you're going to be a really good Brewmaster player. It can be very difficult for you to play this hero. So if you do play him the right click route, then you're going to have a really good time regardless, and just play him like any other right click hero and start building him that way, like a universal right click, and you're pretty much going to go to town. If you get yourself a Harpoon, Orchid, Assault Cuirass, even a Hex, plus your Radiance, you're going to be able to right click super hard because you're going to have that crit and that attack speed, and you're going to have a lot of tools at your disposal, because if they're going on to you and you're pretty much dying, all you got to do is pop your ultimate and you have a get out of jail free card, which is always going to be really good. It's a really nice reset, and you can put yourself in a much better situation, let your team get onto you and give you a hand, and that extra time can also make their BKBs wear out, which is also really good. So this hero overall is an absolute beast, and I've been just spamming him right now, just trying to have fun, as I really wanted to start playing a different hero, as I've been getting really bored of this meta, and I think Brewmaster definitely fits the meta quite well. You just have to play him properly. If you don't play him properly, you're just going to feed. You're going to go 0-4, 0-5 in the laning phase, and then it's going to be really difficult. You're going to get a 22 minute radiance, and your game is pretty much going to be over, and that's definitely what you don't want. So try and learn this hero before you start picking him up and playing him in ranked. Now let's break down some of the best and worst matchups for the Brewmaster. Some of the best matchups are Elder Titan, Viper, Terrorblade, Zeus, OD. These types of heroes are able to go toe-to-toe against no problem, and you can do so much damage to them. Even heroes like Phantom Lancer, you're able to do so much freaking damage to these heroes. And the fact that you have armor, evasion, magic resistance, extra movement speed, you have your crit, your attack speed, and you build yourself items like Silver Edge, you're going to go toe-to-toe with these heroes no problem. And these are some of the strong heroes of the patch. Heroes like Terrorblade and Zeus are very strong, and so is Elder Titan. So having a good advantage up against these heroes is definitely going to help you a lot. Some of your bad matchups are Lycan, Sven, Darkseer, Leshrac, Templar Assassin, Clinks. Heroes with a lot of heavy magical bursts or heavy physical bursts, you're going to struggle with quite a bit, and they're going to be cleaving through your pandas quite easily. Heroes like Sven and Templar Assassin destroy your ultimate and kill all your pandas, so you need to be very careful on how you use it and where you position your pandas to get the most amount of value. And heroes like Clinks can easily get on top of you and do a shit ton of damage. Now if you're prepared for it and you build items like Blade Mail, or you have your own Silver Edge, you can maybe go toe-to-toe. You build yourself maybe an item like Abyssal Blade or a Bloodthorn, you might be able to go toe-to-toe, but they're definitely very difficult matchups. Same with Leshrac. There's just so much magic burst. Even though you have magic resistance from your Earth stance, it's still not enough to counteract the amount of damage coming out from a Leshrac, and that can be quite problematic for you. So keep these matchups in mind and just have fun with the hero. Play it as much as you can and learn from it. Every single game I play this hero, I keep learning different things, different builds, and things that I could do differently and perfect the art of Brewmaster. I think this hero takes at least 50 to 60 games to even play decently, and I think it's one of the hardest heroes in the game, so don't be discouraged to play it if you guys are up for the challenge and learning how to play it. A fantastic hero that's definitely going to be really good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, leave a like and a comment. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.